Henry, you look like you're in the gym today.
Yep. We always working out. We always getting better. You know what I'm saying? Next
Yeah,
generation popping up
that's right.
next.
You got a
Yep.
good group you got a good group coming in?
It's a solid group. I'm really looking forward to Western Canadians. We're playing at the highest division, so I'm really excited. I'm anticipating good basketball.
Nice, nice. Talking about good basketball, I'm excited. This guy, NBA experience. I mean, I'll let him kind of tell his story, but NBA experience, Canadian, which is huge for a CEBL team. So I'd like to welcome Mike Mulder to the podcast.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Yeah.
So, Mike, the way we always like to start off, just so people understand who's on the show. Like, just tell me a little bit about where you were born.
Yeah, I'm Mike Mulder. I'm from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, born and raised. Still spend a lot of time back home. So I spent most of my early career, in Windsor, as well as playing through a lot of tournaments and things like that in Toronto area, as well as Detroit. My high school coach is really good at getting us opportunities across the border since we're like right there on the border. I don't know if you guys know where Windsor is, but I can be in Detroit almost as fast as I can be at work tomorrow. So it's like maybe 10 minutes across the border, and then we're kind of heading over to tournaments and getting some good exposure that way. So a lot of my career early on was there. After that, I played a couple years of junior college with Vincennes University. It's in Indiana, right over
Yep.
by Evansville. There, played for Coach Todd Franklin. He was one of the best coaches I ever had, and super successful program there. Got a lot of wins, got a lot better. And after that, kind of took it to the next level. It was time to decide where to go to school next for my last 2 years of eligibility, and that was University of Kentucky. So obviously went from one good coach to another there with Coach Cal. Really good group over there. I had a couple good groups actually. I was really lucky. Got to play with guys like Bam Adebayo, De'Aaron Fox, my boy Jamal Murray, numerous others that turned into lottery picks and really key guys in the NBA. So I had a really fortunate upbringing and time through school with all those experiences.
All right on. So, I mean, you jumped ahead to a couple questions that I was going to ask, like just getting to know you a little bit. When did you, so growing up in Windsor, playing high school basketball, when did you start playing basketball?
Yeah, I started playing basketball really young. I think I was in probably second or third grade when I started to play like organized basketball. But I was always like really into it before that. And I kind of knew from a young age that that was kind of a path I wanted to take, and that was my passion. So I started really young with a really core group of guys that we became really good friends. Obviously, starting that young, 7, 8 years old, and then those same guys, we all decided to go to the same high school together in Windsor at Catholic Central. So we kind of kept that same core, brought it over to Catholic Central, and played for my head coach, Coach Peter Cusimano. He's one of the best coaches in the country, and he really got us put us in a lot of positions. Like I said, bringing us across the border for exposure, and just to get better and develop. And it was good to play with those guys and have that type of leadership and that type of core group all the way through.
Nice. No, I read, doesn't mean that Wikipedia is always right, but I read a little bit about you. So did you only had one D1 offer, but you actually went JUCO?
Yeah, yeah. Coming out of high school, being from Windsor is a little bit different. It's hard to explain, but I always say like if I lived 10 minutes in the other direction in Detroit or a few hours down the street in Toronto, things could have been a little bit different earlier on. But being from Windsor, there's not so much exposure. So not only that, like I think the JUCO route was best for me. I thought that immediately because I wanted to work on my body a little bit, work on my game, and just kind of like sharpen myself. I knew that I could be a Division 1 player. I just needed someone to take the chance on me, and I needed somewhere to develop. So I thought that the JUCO route was best, and it really turned out for me.
So you guys did really well in JUCO. How did that next step with this JUCO, obviously the JUCO, then D1, D or D3, D2, D1? How did Kentucky come about for you?
Yeah. So with JUCO, we were really focused just on the then and now. we didn't so much focus on what was going to come next until probably our second year, and that's when we started to kind of hone in as a group, like, okay, what opportunities are we looking at? But during my second year of junior college, I was shooting the ball really well. I think I shot it like 48% from three, and just playing at a really high level. And so when that's going on, coaches start to come knocking, and I had a lot of coaches, a lot of schools coming to games, just touching base with me on a regular basis. It was kind of a crazy process being recruited through junior college, because you might be in class and your phone's ringing, and
Mhm.
I got to take calls from now I got Wichita State calling, or the head coach of Indiana calling, and all types of things like that were going on at the time. So it was a little hard to stay focused, but the recruiting process was really good. I think my coach had told us to kind of just stay the course and focus on succeeding in the moment, and all the opportunities will follow. And I think that was really good advice, because while it was going on, I didn't really like look around, or I wasn't making big decisions. I was just focused on my play. And at the end of the season is when I really started to narrow down schools. And Coach Khaled came in. We had a meeting with him and my head coach, Coach Franklin, and kind of sat down and gave me the run through of Kentucky basketball. I don't know if you guys, that would have been the year that all those guys got drafted. We had Devin Booker and Carl Towns, and the whole crew basically got drafted that year.
Yeah.
And he was recruiting me to come and fill in one of those spots. So as you can imagine, it was kind of like it was an easy choice. He offered me the visit, kind of put the papers in front of me during the visit, and I'm pretty sure I signed them like in the airport on the way home. So it's like it was a cool, it was a cool opportunity, a cool experience, and definitely something that you don't necessarily expect, like coming from JUCO. A lot of people will like write you off, and they don't expect such a big opportunity to come after that. And so it was really cool to have that opportunity and to be able to make those types of decisions. And that was really just based on the way that I played there.
So then what happens? So when you finish your college career, how does the NBA and the G League come into conversation?
So finishing my college career, I went to Kentucky with those names, all those names I said, and had a really good college career, but I wasn't necessarily positive that I was going to get drafted or anything, right? And so, of course, I just watched draft night and saw all my guys get drafted, and I was super happy for them. And it kind of becomes like, okay, so what's next? Like, are you going to look overseas? What route do you really want to take here? And we had decided that I was going to put my name in the G League draft. And that's kind of how it went. They had the draft. I was selected, I think, like ninth to Chicago Bulls G League affiliate, Windy City Bulls, and we just kind of went from there. I spent my first 2 seasons with Windy City. Really developed there. Had a really good coaching staff, a lot of ex players, guys coming up and down, and the G League can be hectic sometimes with that. So I think that was really good for my development, and just continue to get my name out there and keep knocking on the door. And that's kind of where it started.
Right. So this is a question I didn't have on this. So is the G League similar to like the CEBL where it's 1 year contracts?
Yeah. So with the G League, you're just signing like a year contract, and basically committing to go with them. That's kind of how for after the draft. It depends on your type of contract, because you can also be on an Exhibit 10 contract with the NBA team, which kind of means like you're getting a camp invite, right? You're gonna go and do training camp with the big team, which is how I kind of got my foot in the door with the NBA. Was I got a training camp invite and an Exhibit 10 offer for the Miami Heat. And in that summer, I worked out with them a ton, went through camp with them, and they said, "We really like you, man. Like, you're close. We just basically want to sign you down and like see what you can do." And that's kind of like how it goes from there. You kind of you'll play that season usually with the team you're affiliated with, that you went to camp with. So yeah, with the G League, it's pretty good, because it's just like usually 1 year contracts, and it kind of goes fast.
Oh, okay. So then you went from the Miami Heat and then you ended up in the Golden State's uh, program.
Yeah, I played most of the year, probably about 3/4 of the season with the Miami Heat affiliate, Sioux Falls Skyforce. That's way out in South Dakota, so it's not like right up the street from the big team like Oklahoma are, where we're sharing the facilities and all that. This one, where you're kind of like way out there. All you got to focus on is basketball, and that was a really good opportunity to really like sharpen my game and sharpen the tools that I needed to go to the next level. Um, my coaching staff there was incredible. A lot of them are on the coaching staff for Miami Heat now, and they just kind of they helped me tap into some potential there that allowed me to succeed going forward. And basically, after some of the season had concluded in the G League, I finally got a phone call. This would have been my third year pro, and after all that time, I got the phone call that Golden State wanted to sign me to a 10-day contract. Yeah, I could.
Okay, so we'll continue on. So then you got your deal with the Golden State Warriors. What was that like walking into the room and seeing guys like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and those guys there as teammates?
Yeah, that was incredible, man. It was funny because I had spent a lot of time as a shooter myself. I spent a lot of time watching film and studying on how to get open and how to come off screens and things like that. Watching Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, right? Specifically, Klay I had studied because that was kind of more the job I did. Steph plays kind of like this hybrid point guard position, and Klay is more of like coming off pin downs and coming off screens, and he scores all those points on very limited dribbles. Just being able to create space without the ball. And that was a lot of stuff that I had studied. So walking into the room, and it's I got these guys that I spent years like kind of studying their game and stealing things, little tidbits for myself. It was really cool to finally walk in and share a locker room with those guys. And the best part about it was like Coach Kerr, he gave me an opportunity right away. I came in on my 10 days. Sometimes people get 10 days and they don't really get too much opportunity to play. I came in on my 10-day and I played heavy minutes right away. And really got to show what I've been working on for so long and make an impact. And I think that led to a lot of success going forward. And after my 10-day concluded, they decided to sign me to a multi-year deal. So that's kind of like how that went down. And I was really thankful for I wanted an opportunity like that for 3 years, right? And
Yeah.
both stars kind of aligned for that situation. And thankfully, I had put myself in the position with my preparation that I was ready for that opportunity.
Obviously you had the skill to belong there, but like you said, watching those guys in film to try to see what they do to do it, now to see them every single day in practice, that must have been like a whole other level of learning.
Yeah, it was incredible. Obviously going into practice, it's different than going into the G League practice. This is a different level. Things are a little bit faster. Guys are bigger. But being able to work with those guys really helped me. They would give me tips, and they saw what I was trying to do, and they knew how difficult it was for me to get my foot in that door. So they really did help me and give me advice and tips on how to knock that door down. And I'm really thankful that I had the teammates that I had at the time because these guys were super accepting. There was no egos really on that team. It was just everybody wanted to get better. Everybody wanted to succeed and see the guy next to him succeed, and that really helped us all.
So it's competitive, but it's family. Like there's love and brotherly love, and everyone wants to help everybody out.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think that a lot of guys, right from the coaching staff down to the players, everybody knows what the guy next to him has been through to be in this situation, and everybody knows that we have everything riding on this, right? And so you
Yeah.
want to do everything you can. Like my job as a teammate is to do everything I can to put these guys next to me in the best situation possible where they're going to succeed, right? And I felt like that was really emphasized. You can see if you watch a game like how the ball moves and swings and pops, and it really creates opportunities for guys. So it's not so like one-on-one dominant. It's more like how can we make the next man be involved? How can we create an opportunity for him, create a shot for him, get him open? And I thrived in that environment. And fortunately, like I was coming from a lot of systems that kind of ran the same type of way. So I was used to that and ready for that and just ready to take advantage of the opportunity.
Right. Okay, so then fast forward a little bit to the CEBL. I know I asked you in the change room, or in the gym, but how did your journey get you to Vancouver?
Yeah, I had talked to Coach Julius. I talked to him a couple summers ago, and he wanted me to come out here, work out, and be involved with the Bandits and sign here for the summer. And at the time, I just had a lot going on in my life, and I was like, oh, I think I need the off season to sharpen these things up and do these things, tighten some stuff up. And he was totally cool with it. But I never, since I talked to him, I really liked his mindset. And like, he has if you talk to him for 5 minutes, you can tell he's got a passion for the game. And those are the coaches that I've always like loved to play for the most. So since then, I always kind of kept an eye on the Bandits and kept an eye on what was going on over here. And he's winning coach of the year. Guys are getting very successful when they leave this place, and guys are getting better during the summers. And I was always just so interested in that. I was like, man, if I get an off season that allows for it, it's like I'd love to go down here and play for this organization, play for this coach. Obviously, it's like one of the best places to be in the summertime as well. Probably one of the nicest places in North America, if you ask me. So I this summer, or a couple months back, talking to coach, and I'd expressed so much more interest because I had so much more time, and we just kind of made it happen, man. He immediately like set me up with a plan to come in early and get good work, and he had all the bases covered. All I needed to do was show up, and that was super helpful for me, man. I could tell that he invests in players. And really is into guys getting better who want to work and want to succeed and want to go to the next level. And that's exactly the space I was in. So it was kind of like the perfect fit. And since that first conversation, I always had like interest. And I'm really thankful that I took the opportunity to come out here, because so far so good, man. We're definitely moving in the right direction. I can feel myself getting better daily, and it's a perfect situation out here.
Yeah, the thing about Kyle, right? I've known him for 3 years now. He's so passionate, and he wants guys just to get better, and the investment, and then those guys move on, and then it's start all over again, right? Because we in the Bandits organization, we want you guys to get to that next step, and then have a loose affiliation with us still, but keep going, keep pushing, and get the most that you can out of your short time left and be able to play.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That was important
yeah.
to me.
So you've gone through training camps in the G, you've gone through training camp in the NBA, and then with the CEBL. I mean, you're injured a little bit, so just watching.
Mhm.
How similar are they?
They're pretty similar. I think training camp is a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of learning, a lot of teaching. Getting guys acclimated to the system that you run, that the organization wants you to run. There's offensive principles to go over, defensive principles, especially to go over. Terminology. That's a lot of stuff that you spend time on in camp. Obviously, just sharpening your skills. It's super important to come into camp prepared, skill wise, cardio wise. Like, you got to be ready to go, because we're going to spend some time learning, and then you kind of just got to go on the fly. Like, we're gonna go right into games next week. And so being prepared is obviously the most important thing. And I think that on all levels, whether it be the G League or the NBA or CEBL, I think on all levels, I think that's what training camp is supposed to be, is just installing disciplines, installing what we're running, figuring out our defensive schemes, things of that nature, and obviously getting chemistry with your teammates. It's a short window to gain a lot of chemistry with the guys you're going to play with for the next few months. So
Yeah.
I think that's been a super important thing for us, and that's pretty important, like, across the board.
And NBA training camp is a little longer, right? Is the G League longer as well? Because the CEBL we had what, 5 days?
Longer, give or take. You usually have, it's kind of a similar window. NBA would be a little bit longer. You go in a little bit earlier. And so you might have a little bit more time to mesh with guys and stuff like that. But they're all kind of similar, and they're all structured a little bit similar, is where you'll have that time to input stuff and work on your schemes and things like that. And then pretty much you're thrust into preseason games, which is where we're basically at now.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of time to really get it down and get it going while we're live. So I think taking advantage of those opportunities are super important. I know a lot of guys, you'll see people where it's like, oh, like, you guys might just coast through like preseason. And it's like, no, the preseason might be the most important part of a season, because basically what you do now, you're going to do later. And I think it's important to recognize the seriousness, even though it's preseason, we're just learning and stuff like that. It's like, you want to treat the preseason like it's a regular season or a playoff game, because pretty soon, blink your eyes, like, you'll be there. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw the Dallas Mavericks had part of their preseason here last year too.
No, I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, they were out at SFU for a while.
That's awesome. That's awesome. See,
And I
that's
know he's not an owner anymore, but did you hear that Mark Cuban bought into Honey Badgers?
yeah, I heard that this morning. I thought that was super cool. I was like, I wanted to see the details on that, but yeah, no, I thought that was sweet. I saw Mark Cuban, like, he's super involved, right? Like, when we play in Dallas, one of the first guys on the court that you'll see, like, as a guy like me, I'd be an early shooting time guy. So
Yeah.
for like a shoot around or something, like, one of the first guys on the court you'll see putting up shots and stuff is Mark Cuban. Funnily enough.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious. I mean, he's a super passionate guy about sports and basketball for sure. So it's great. It's great for the Honey Badgers. It's great for the league, and hope that just makes things grow.
Yeah, I thought that.
Um, So, Mike, away from basketball, what do you like? Like, what do you have interest in?
I got a lot of interest, man. I kind of like am scattered across the board. I do like normal guy stuff. I play games, video games. I hang out with my friends, do like all the regular stuff. I really like boating. Lately, I've been into fishing, even though since I got to Vancouver, I've been skunked like 3 times.
Huh.
No fish yet. I'm like convinced you guys don't have them, but no, I'm into a lot of stuff, man. I love music. I bought a saxophone a few years ago. I'm trying to pick that up a little bit. Um, I try to kind of mix it up a little bit. I spend a lot of time, obviously as a player, you spend a lot of time on your craft, right? And it's like countless hours just in the gym and working on things of that nature. But I as I got older, I'm starting to feel like it's important to really like diversify yourself and explore other interests and other passions you might have. And that allows you time to like recharge and really put back the energy that it requires to do your main passion is basketball. So I spread it out a lot. I like to learn new stuff and pick up new things, pretty often.
You should ask. I don't know if it was Matt Barg who did it or Kyle set it up, but a few of the guys last year went sturgeon fishing.
Yeah, it was Kenny. I've talked to
Oh, it
Kenny.
was Kenny.
It was Kenny
Okay.
that sets it up. And we're supposed to go out, I think, sometime next week. We keep talking about getting out on the water, see if we can go fishing. I was just complaining to him about it like an hour ago. I was like, "Yeah, I went to the pond the other day, nothing." Like, and he's like, "No, we'll get out. We'll get out." I think he fly fishes and all that. I've never fly fished, so I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff, especially out here. That's a great thing about Vancouver is there's so much stuff to do, so much stuff to see and learn. And that's just like a prime example of it. It's like there's a lot of stuff that you might never have done that you have the opportunity to do here.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty nice place. I mean, I always say for the Americans, the nice thing about America is there's so many great cities that you can just move to.
Yeah.
In Canada, there's some nice cities, but year round, Vancouver's kind of got it doesn't get too hot and it doesn't get too cold. We don't get a ton of snow, and but it's not like we could pick up and move to Hawaii
Right.
or Dallas or something like that, right? So it's pretty good.
Right.
Um, So back to basketball. Just a couple questions, and we'll go into quick hitters. What can fans expect from you? Like, I know what I see, but what are they going to see from you?
Yeah, I think fans can expect a lot of passion. Like I play with a joy for the game, so there's a lot of passion in my game. If you watch me play, you can see I'm smiling. I interact with my teammates a lot, really high energy. And outside of that, man, you can expect dunks and threes and all the things in between. But as of right now, like it's a big focus for me to be a good teammate. I think you'll see like if you watch, you'll be able to notice that I try to interact with the younger guys a lot. A lot of uplifting, a lot of advice. I saw Shay say the other day something that was good. He said he wants to be for his younger teammates what he would have needed, and I felt like I could relate to that. I had a lot of good leadership through my career with guys who are a little older than me, who just kind of knew the ropes and kind of gave me advice, or they showed me a pointer here, a pointer there. And I feel like I'm in a space in my career where I can do the same for my teammates. So I think they can expect a lot of that.
From what I've seen, like I said, you're not injured, so you're not doing the daily runs with the guys, but you're there. I see you encouraging them. Like I see really positive aura from you. So it's funny when you say when you're on a court, you're locked in and you're smiling. It's what I try to tell the other kids. Like you don't always have to have a scowl on your face. You
Yeah,
should be enjoying what you're doing and bringing the energy because, like as Coach Kyle says, right, the ball finds energy.
yeah, never forget, man. We're playing a game and we're all playing the game that we love. There's two sides to it. It's like if you get me within those lines, it's like I am a killer. Like I will be aggressive and you will feel that. But like from the other end of it, it's like if you're my teammate, for example, it's like you'll also feel like a lot of uplifting, a lot of joy, a lot of energy. And I find those things to be contagious. When you have a guy like
Yeah.
that on your team, it's really hard for you not to bring that same type of energy. So I want to be kind of a spark plug for these guys. And, I want to match energy. I want guys that match my energy. And I just want to play together and have fun. I think it's the most important thing. And it's the most fun way to play is when we're all playing together and for each other. And that's something that I always just love to play with.
Yeah, well, I know I'm looking forward to seeing you actually step on the court with a jersey. You think that's going to happen on Saturday or?
I'm not sure. I'm just kind of going day by day. I'm taking the
Yeah.
advice of the trainers and stuff like that, but definitely ready to go for the first game. I think we're going to Sask first game, and
Yep.
I'll definitely be suiting up for that, and we'll be good to go all the way through.
Right on. What's your number?
11.
Number 11. All right. Okay. Last bit that I got here. Really appreciate you coming on. Henry obviously had some connection issues, but that's technology. It's not always perfect. So these are our quick hitter questions. We got 8. They're just kind of quick 1 or 2 word answers. If you want to expand, that's completely up to you, but it's just meant to be quick. So if you're ready to go, here we go.
Hit me.
Favorite NBA player growing up?
I would say either Kobe Bryant or Dwayne Wade.
Of all the arenas, high school, college, professional that you've played in, what's your favorite arena that you've played in?
Madison Square Garden.
Pre-game meal.
I mix it up. I like some salmon. I like some chicken. So whatever's going that day.
All right. Favorite superhero?
Probably I like Spider-Man.
Can't tell you how many Spider-Mans we've got. He's good, especially now. He's good.
He's tough.
You have a favorite pre-game song or artist that you like listening to?
No, I mix it up. I just kind of hit shuffle and see what I'm feeling that day. So I got a lot of music on here. It could be like really aggressive hip hop rap. It could be like mellow and alternative. You never know.
Yeah. Toughest defender you've ever faced?
Toughest defender. It's probably practicing with like Draymond Green was probably one of the tougher defenders that I've faced because he kind of like blows up actions. He really like gets you out of like what you're trying to do. So it's not even just like individual defense. It's like his team always seems to win in practice because he like blows up actions and calls out switches and creates different switches. Like he's got a really good defensive mind.
I could see that. I could see that. After a game, do you have a go-to meal or something you like to replenish yourself with?
No, I mix it up with that too. Sometimes I like to go out with the guys if we're gonna go for like dinner or something after the game. So depending, like I might like a steakhouse or something like that usually.
Okay. Final question. Who's your GOAT? LeBron, Jordan, or someone else?
I'm going Jordan. I consider the GOAT. I kind of count it by rings and wins, and I think Jordan's the most winningest player that I can think of in that conversation.
Yeah, LeBron's got a different kind of GOAT aura to him where I just still can't believe at 41 he's doing what he's doing. It's
Yeah,
insane. Like,
the longevity is crazy, and honestly, like I can see both sides of the argument, and I can see why guys say LeBron, and it's hard for me to argue against one or the other. I don't necessarily usually like to pick a GOAT. I just like to respect greatness and leave it there. So whoever anybody chooses, I have a reason to agree. So I'll tell you that.
yeah, right on. Okay. Well, I really appreciate you joining our podcast called the Athlete Chronicles Podcast. Looking forward to seeing you out on the court. See you practice all the time, but for everyone to get to know you a little bit better and cheer you on, and we're looking forward to seeing whenever that first game's going to be.
Absolutely, man. It's coming up quick. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
All right, brother.